everybody, and welcome to your Schmoe. We are a European and South African based after show. Um, I like to say Happy Halloween to all my spooky friends. That's why I'm wearing this, my favorite Pokemon, or second
Ah,
favorite
nice.
Pokemon, actually. Um, but yes, so today we are talking Upset City 2.0. We had some great matches. Sorry, let me first, before I start that, I apologize for being rude. We are welcomed once again by Luke from Galaxy Geeks. Thank you so much for joining again.
I do not mind. I think you just kicked everyone else out because you thought, oh, I gotta keep Luke every week.
I think so. you've come onto my plans.
Ah, that's what it was. Happy
Yes,
Halloween,
happy
Thomas.
Halloween. I just wanted to say I saw some of the comments before we started. The reason for the thumbnail, for me, it was a bit of an upset, the King Arthur match, but there was another match that we'll get to that was even more of a big upset, I think, to most people. That kind of
Okay, I know
started the
exactly what
week.
you're talking about. I know exactly what
Yeah,
you're talking
but
about now.
we'll get into that. But first, I want to get into the match. Spoiler alert for everyone. That we will be talking about the pay-per-view between Shazam and Lightning Time. Um, so we will be talking about that match, and I will show everyone why it was a bit of a heartache for me because I switched at the end of the day, and I
Ugh.
switched incorrectly. I switched to Lightning Time, and I got 0 for this week thanks to it.
Ooh. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had a really bad week prediction wise. Uh, but yeah, let's just get into it. This is Shazam versus Lightning Time, and they really do only lose at spectacular. Um, they had a back and forth kind of match between the first two rounds. I don't know if you watched it, Luke.
Yes, I've watched everything. I am finally caught up for 1 week. Finally.
Awesome. So I'll just tell the audience. So it was a back and forth kind of match between the first two rounds, and then the betting round. Lightning Time bet 3, Shazam bet 3, and Lightning Time got it wrong. Shazam got it right, so it was a 7-point lead for Shazam. And by the time the speed round ended, it was a knockout for Shazam. They are now 12-2, which means they have the best record of any team ever in the Schmoedown, I think. So I think this proves that they're actually the goats of the
well,
team
well, you've
teams
got
division.
Patriots. Patriots ranking is pretty high. I think everyone's waiting for them to beat the Patriots defeat record.
Yeah, true, true. Um, However, the Patriots were 9-2, weren't they?
I think I'm not for sure. It depends how many. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe that. I'll say this. I think Shazam is incredible. I did want to ask you this. I'm going to bring this up on our show tomorrow. But
Mm.
did you feel the pay per view felt weird? Like, I don't know if it's the studio that they're using or it just looked not as pristine, like not as professional looking as it normally does. Like even online looked a little bit more professional than that match.
I can see what you mean because it almost looked like they were in the lobby of a office building.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it looked a bit strange. Um,
They were in
maybe it's because
Skybound.
maybe it's
They were in
because
Skybound for sure.
yeah, maybe it's because they didn't have an audience that
Well,
it
it
felt a
sounded
bit
like
off.
there were people in the background like talking. Yeah, it was in the Skybound studio. So
Mm,
I don't know. It just the studio didn't look as set up. I don't know. It was weird. I don't know why it just didn't feel as. It felt like they were in a small room. It didn't feel like it was a big
mm,
studio, and I think it really affected kind of the look of it.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It everyone in the chat, let us know. Do y'all think it looked okay? Did y'all think there was any issues, or did you think maybe it looked a little off and didn't look as professional as it has in the past?
Would be interesting to hear what they have to say about that. Um, in the meantime, I will address Ryan's comments. The first round for the lightning time was okay, but they used JTEs. Um, betting round was their downfall. Yeah, I completely agree. The JTEs. What did you think of them using all their JTEs in the first round?
Um, Honestly, I think in the long run it hurt them. I think for some reason Lightning Time seemed off. Shazam was on their game. I mean, Shazam didn't win that game. Lightning Time lost that game. When I see a
Yeah.
KO, I don't see a team winning. I see the other team losing. They didn't put the
Okay.
like it. That's why like if you know how we do our player of the week and manager of the week and everything else each week.
Yep.
Well, me and Eli make a rule where if there is a TKO or KO in a match, then that person does not receive player of the week due to
Mm,
they didn't have to put the work in as much because of a KO. When there's a KO or a TKO, it's because the other player didn't play as well. If
okay.
So that's why like this week, we're gonna release the photos later. We're making our team of the week this week, King Arthur. We're
King
not
Arthur.
picking
Yeah.
Shazam as team of the week.
That's fair. That's fair. I just thought I'd point this out. Leo said it looked fine.
Hey, that's a
Um,
plus. Maybe I'm it is as y'all can tell around me, I have a problem with like wanting to make sure everything looks professional. I put like a lot of I have obsessions. I don't know. And so seeing stuff like that, I just really notice like, oh, I would do this, or oh, I'd change that, or oh, I'd bring in a table, or I don't know. I guess I also really enjoyed the Collider studio. I think that was my favorite
hmm,
studio that they've been in.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. I agree.
yeah.
Maybe after a few matches and with few more audience members like they used to have at Collider. Because I remember at the end when they were saying thank you to the background crew, Mark Ellis commented that they usually have someone to applaud the background people, but there wasn't anyone to do that.
I also felt, and this might be interesting, and I'm not blaming them on this whatsoever. I am struggling with them having to wear masks during the matches. I that
Yeah.
that's a struggle. I kind of understand it, but also I'm a little confused because everyone's vaccinated, so I'm a little confused per that a bit.
I think because the vaccinations are not a preventative, you still can get COVID.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they're just being precautious, and I think in California they have the rule that you have to wear masks.
I don't know if they have that rule anymore. I know they had at one point, but I do not know anymore. And I understand it. I'm not saying I'm not blaming them whatsoever on that. I actually
Yeah.
I get it completely. It's just I think it is hurting the Schmoedown product because it is
Yeah.
kind of difficult.
I get that. And I think when you see it in New York where they don't wear any masks or so on, or maybe when they go into Las Vegas for spectacular and they don't have any masks versus in studio when they do, um, it does kind of feel a bit off.
Is it wrong? This
Yeah,
is it bad to say I'd rather see the online than I would see the mask?
it's not wrong, because you're a fan, so you're welcome to your opinion.
Yeah.
Um, I look. It took me a while when they went to the Scum and Villainy Cantina. It took me a while to get used to hearing Christian's voice in the mask because I think Ellis comes across okay when he's masked, but Christian kind of sounds muffled sometimes.
For some reason, the Scum and Villainy, strangely, I like that setup a lot more. And
Really?
I was actually shocked. Yeah, I was shocked by that. I thought I was going to like the studio a lot more, but for some reason, it just felt all right. This was this big championship team match. It didn't
Mm,
feel like a team championship. The Scum and Villainy kind of feels like championship matches. I would
yeah.
do if I were Christian next year. I would set it up where all big matches, big championship matches, I would have in Scum and Villainy, and all regular season matches I would have in that studio. So,
I The only question that I would have there though is the setup that they have is perfect for singles competitors. I don't know how they would set it up for teams.
I think they could probably work with it because if you'll notice, the manager's pretty close to him. It would be one up front, one a little bit behind. I think you could work with it. I understand why they would struggle with it, but I do think you want. Let me ask you this: does teams this year seem as dominant as in earlier other seasons?
Personally, yes,
Yes.
um, because we've had two tournaments which have been fantastic tournaments. We had the KO Corruption versus Danger Zone match. We had Corruption versus Shazam. Um,
Yeah.
and we've had two very competitive matches where we've said on our show that first tournament, any of those teams, any given Sunday, could have won. And so I kind of felt like, okay, this one, certain teams felt a bit like, okay, no, you don't really see them winning. But I mean, Press Room, I didn't see winning, but they surprised me. So, I mean, so
Well,
I think, yeah, we're going to see. It's been very competitive. I just think
oh,
with them not doing much in studio, it's been a bit off.
yeah. Hey, I was also going to let you know. This speaking of kind of press. Um, Christian, this
Mhm.
past. Do you remember last week when I mentioned the idea of having like after shows doing a big press conference and having questions with Christian?
Yeah.
Well, I did a comment on one of Christian's posts, and Christian loved the idea. And on the Schmoedown Facebook, on one of the featured comments or featured posts, he has posted for spectacular that after shows, put your after show down, and you can maybe one person from each after show can be a part of a press conference at Spectacular Digital.
That would be amazing. Okay. I'll
So you might
definitely,
want to Yeah, might want to check put your stuff down for it.
sure, definitely will. Cool. Um, yeah, I was thinking the same, Leo. But So, what did you think about the? So we saw that Lightning Time dropped a 1-pointer to Shazam. Shazam dropped a 2-pointer to Lightning Time, and then the betting round happened. You think Shazam still looks strong or not really?
No, I think Shazam stays strong. They can miss a question here or there, but that they still play a dominant game. Well, thank you, Thomas. Thomas, pull it up. Thank you for that. Actually, I'm not fully. I came up with part of it, and also Eli as well. I had forgotten Eli had mentioned it as well on our show. So Eli also is part of the idea. We both kind of came up with it together.
That's cool.
But no, I think Shazam is the most dominant team right now. I would not want to play Shazam on a good day.
No, I agree. Or on a bad day, to be honest with you, because even on the bad days, they seem to be powerful.
Yeah, and honestly, I did not expect Shazam to be as dominant as they've been this season, but they are a scary team.
Oh yeah. I just wanted to point this out because it made me laugh even on the show. Liz is a new enemy. Just go with it. I love how in the post interview she kept reading these comments about the movie.
Well, one sad thing for Ethan is Ethan at the beginning of the season and throughout would have been close to Player of the Year. Ethan's out of the running for Player of the Year. That's sad. Sadly, I mean, I hate to say that, but Ethan's out.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry, I thought someone was coming in.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think probably your best person to put in Player of the Year at this point is Mike. I mean, he's got 2 IG defenses, a he's going into the singles tournament. He had a teams match where he took Shazam down to the wire. You could call him or Thomas Harper. I know, shock horror, we probably will never see a Thomas single division player get a Player of the Year. But I would put Thomas Harper up in that conversation.
Thomas Harper, the biggest thing with Thomas is it's all going to matter at Spectacular. If that's right now, I think Thomas Harper would not be Player of the Year because he is one single division. But Thomas Harper is up there for Rookie of the Year. There is another player who is fighting for that Rookie of the Year. It all depends Spectacular. There's really two players that it could end up being for a Rookie of the Year. And that's Thomas Harper and Griffey Nooms. Griffey Nooms, to me, he's up there for Rookie of the Year now.
You don't think Gold Leader's in that conversation too?
No, unless he wins. If he gets to go Spectacular and he wins against Thomas, he's up there. But Gold Leader has a loss. He has a loss against Thomas. And that puts him down on Rookie of the Year. Right now, Thomas is not lost. But problem for Thomas is he was not in this past tournament. So that's less chances to see him play. And if you think about it, Gold Leader has played great, but he didn't get to play Damon. If Gold Leader had played and beat Damon, then you've got a different story. But since Damon was beat, and we'll get into that, by Demi, then there goes your Gold Leader playing Damon. And Thomas hasn't even played Damon.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we might as well get into it now. So it's Nikki DeMolanta versus Alex Damon. This was a heck of a match, and I've been wanting to speak about this for quite a while now because it was my match of the week, to be very honest with you.
Oh yeah.
I loved it from start to finish. Nikki and Alex going blow for blow in round one. I think Alex missed one more question than Nikki did. And then round two, it was basically Nikki just went through those questions. Alex dropped one question, I think. It wasn't stolen by Nikki, but then Alex missed his 5-pointer. And so it was Nikki DeMolanta going through to the finals versus Gold Leader. So what did you think of this match?
First off, Alex Damon does not need to play Inner Geekdom anymore.
Yeah.
He that needs to be done.
He's 1-3 in this season with Star Wars.
And his one win was against his wife.
Yeah.
Alex is struggling right now due to the fact of, I mean, his first match this season, he played incredible, but it went down to the wire. The second one, he kind of had a blowout, and then the third one, he won against his wife, and then this one, his fourth one, it just didn't go well for him. You can tell he's not in it. You'll notice in the Schmoedown, they will do different character stuff. And right now, the character they're showing with Alex is this, kind of like this chivaled character where he's like unhinged, but it doesn't. Alex does not need to be a character. Alex is Alex Damon. He needs to be the competitor who will beat anybody any day of the week. If you don't have a strong Alex, or if you don't show strength from Alex, then you make him seem weaker. And so this evil Alex, I've really not been liking that character that they've been doing with him. I just don't think it's working. Maybe if he was winning after that, maybe, but he's been on a losing streak.
Yeah. So and Roxy now just has Janine. Yeah, so now the question that I had for you was, in the post-match, Roxy basically made it sound like Nikki didn't really win that. It was Alex's loss. What do you make of that?
In other cases, I would agree with, or in other cases, I would disagree with Roxy if this was any other division. The only way you lose in Star Wars is you beat yourself. If you can't get a perfect rounds, if you can't get the questions, it's on you. You're gonna lose it. I mean, it's Nikki won, but it was because Alex didn't play his game. So yeah. I think the questions got him.
I would almost half disagree with that, because if Nikki had not played as strong as she had, I mean, maybe we wouldn't have seen Alex be as shook as he was. I think Nikki definitely showed, as I said in my tweet, showed heart and knowledge like you can't believe in the Schmoedown. And I personally,
well, I agree with you. I think the one issue though, the reason why Demi, we're actually giving her Player of the Week this week. Spoiler alert! Y'all get to know this for anyone else. We're giving her Player of the Week this week. She played incredible, but I do agree with Roxy. When it comes to Star Wars, you can play your best game, or if you miss a couple questions in Star Wars, you're done. You are assumed to get every question. You're going into it. If you lose 1 to 2 questions, you lost the match. And you see that in
Yeah.
all the Star Wars matches. The one who loses is normally the first one to miss a question. And so I kind of agree with Roxy. It wasn't just Demi winning, it was Alex lost.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Just to comment on Leo's comment, yes, I would
Oh,
say
yeah.
that this was a big upset. Former champion against a rookie, and someone who the whole year on her podcast and um, even on post-match interviews has been saying she doesn't really know much. She won't do that well, and yet she keeps
Jeez.
performing like no one else. And it's amazing to see. And yes, Alex may have beaten himself, but I mean, hey, I personally, uh, I liked it. I think she played really, really well, and that's one of the reasons why I called it Upset City 2.0.
If you pull up Thomas's comment, because this actually explains everything. There's usually no psychological warfare in Star Wars Division, so you playing the questions rather than the player. That's exactly it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what I consider with Star Wars. You're not playing the other player. You're playing the questions. And if you can't get that
Mm.
one or two questions, you're done. Other divisions, like with Inner Geekdom, even Inner Geekdom, like you're playing the other player a lot of times. Singles same way, teams same
Yeah.
way. Star Wars is you play those questions, and you've got to get everyone right, or you're gonna lose.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, I will say that I'm glad you're giving the Player of the Week to Nikki. It makes me very happy. Um,
Hey, she deserved it. This week was an interesting week, so that's why I say it's she deserved it.
yeah, fully agree. Okay, shall we move on to the uh, teams tournaments?
Yes.
The Deception versus King Arthur match. So this one is another one that broke my heart because it was the end of my dream. But yes, King Arthur eventually came away with the win. I just want to address Brian Nussbaum's and Thomas's question. I have Mike versus Dan in the semis, and Thomas said he hopes Janine wins against Mike.
Oh, I guarantee
We'll
it.
get into that a bit. We'll get into that a bit later, but I have some opinions on that. So yes, this was a heartbreaker for me because Deception didn't play their best, but also they played really, really well. Uh, they just missed, I think, two questions in round one, and I think that's what cost them the match at the end of the day. Your thoughts?
Um, this match was interesting. Collins is having a rough year. Collins is having a very rough year. Marisol is playing incredible. She scares me.
Mm.
I do think, and this might be an interesting thought process, especially with this next year coming up. I think Collins needs to be on a different faction next year. I
Mm,
I
how
don't
come?
think. I know. I also, but here's my bigger thing, my bigger idea. This is the biggest one that could explode the Schmoedown. Every single faction loses everybody. No one stays on the same faction. Everything, new draft, new five. You pick from the group. There is no, oh, I got this guy from last year. No, it's all new because I
Not
think
even
each.
the faction champions.
I think I might. I think I might leave the champions. Um, I maybe just leave the singles champion, the team's champion, Inner Geekdom, and Star Wars. Those four, but that's it. You don't keep anything else, and it's a whole new
Okay.
draft, a whole new everything. Because remember, next year is going to be different. You're going to have the point system is going to be a lot different than it is this year. The points won't, in the end, You won't get a huge prize for points. I think having drafts and drafting people is going to change everything. Drafts are going to mean something. They're going to be throughout the season. They can get rid of players, and it's not going to hurt them in the long run, which the Schmoedown needed. I mean, you don't see any real drafts this year. You didn't see anyone really get dropped because you got a couple.
Mm.
Go ahead and pull up Thomas's post. Will there be a draft? I think /shot there will be a 5 players the managers can sign. Yes, I know that they said there's 5, but I think it should be not 5 from your faction. There needs to be a reboot. The Schmoedown needs a reboot. It needs a whole new everything. Change up managers, even change up managers, have different factions, change everything for next year, so you can have a huge storylines. You can have the drama. You can have, oh, I was on this faction, but they got rid of me because they wanted the big star. They wanted the Thomas Harper. They wanted this or that. Make it such a story-driven thing, because the Schmoedown needs some story. Make, like, I love factions. I loved it the past couple seasons, but it's not working the same as when it first started. Make the factions more of a storyline thing again. Make your team's champion, just the championships, the most important thing, and storylines to surround those champions. Don't put a lot of emphasis on the faction points, because I think that's going to become confusing after a while. Just make it a show again, and not just a sport.
Yeah.
Because the sport's great. I love the sports side of it. I love the faction side of it. But I think it's run its course. I think it's time for the Schmoedown to have a facelift.
Yeah. I kind of feel like you could have a balance like AEW do on their show. They have a kind of thing where the wins and losses matter, which is completely different to WWE, but we won't get into that flame war. But yeah, they have a thing between your wins and losses matter, and you still have the storyline. So you have, if you beat, say, a certain number of people, you get to you have a championship match. Now, yes, it is predetermined, unlike Schmoedown is, but you still get that storyline with it. You still get people building that whole storyline with it. And I kind of feel like the Schmoedown could do that, and probably will do that better next year, is the kind of balance between a sport and a story-based show.
Well, I mean, if you think of it this way, this year, you've had more hype behind players because they premiered on after shows, not because the show itself was promoting them. The big promotion between the last week, Frankie Alvarez versus what's his name? What is his name?
It was Rick the Rager Radis.
Yes. That whole drama and stuff was set up on Spin from the Real, which Spin from the Real is incredible. Also, if y'all don't know, Suge is creating his own show. It's going to be called The Suge Show. Look up Suge Knight 323 on YouTube and subscribe to his channel. I was able to help him with his thumbnail, his background, everything else. But
please do subscribe to that, because he's been a huge supporter of everyone in the community. So let's support him too.
Oh yeah, but no, I think the sad part there is all the storyline drama came from Spin from the Real, which is great. But at the same time, the Schmoedown needs to be creating stories. The Schmoedown needs to control the story. If the Schmoedown can't control the story, then the Schmoedown is just not as important. There's not a reason to go back to watch the Schmoedown. The after shows are becoming more important, and that's not a good thing. You don't want your after shows to be more important than your Schmoedown. I don't need to be watching the Spin from the Real POV. I don't need to be watching these things to understand what's happening in the Schmoedown.
I get that. I think I think yes and no. I think you can kind of have the competitors do the whole spin from the real thing and do that whole storyline thing. I think that's very interesting to see. And the fact that they do a recap in the promos makes it very, like, if you do that for one or two matches a month or a year, it makes it quite cool to see.
Yeah, it's just I guess it's because I mean it's also because it's all digital now, and the after shows are actually becoming super important. I Let me ask you this. This is an interesting question. Oh,
Sorry
not the
for the
greatest. Oh, I'm not talking bad about POV. POV is incredible. I love POV. I think that's the POV does an incredible job. I actually want to be on POV one day. I loved talking with Jake on our show when we interviewed him.
I must
I
be
think
honest, they were one of my big inspirations for doing this show. But yeah, carry on
oh
with what you're saying.
yeah pull up Ryan's comment.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. On yesterday, on speaking of Schmoedown, on the JCast channel, they had Gold Leader on, and Harper came in for Trash Talk, which was incredible. I got to watch that. That was incredible to watch. It was good Trash Talk. The problem, though, is it. This might sound weird to say. There was in the conversations, there was a lot of cussing. There's a lot of different stuff within their conversations, and that's their show. That's fine for their show, but the Schmoedown is trying to be family friendly. And so like when you're trying, because Christian can't control the after shows, what they do. That is like, he can't control what we're talking about right now. Yeah. Pull up what Thomas pulled up. Right. Look, everyone who's not watching the after shows for whatever reason will not understand what's going on between these two players. And that's not good for the MTS itself. Yes, I agree. Yeah. It's just because you are like the Thomas Harper Gold Leader. The Schmoedown can't control what happens. So Christian can't control the storylines. And that can become dangerous in the long run.
Fair. And to be fair, though, I think if, and this is the only thing that I'm thinking about this, if Christian says to the competitors, okay, this is the storyline I want you guys to carry on. This is so he started off on the MTS, and then they go off and they do their own promotions. Like we've seen, we saw the Twitter rivalry between Chandru and Corruption. That wasn't something that was on the Schmoedown itself, yet it created a must-see TV almost.
But you didn't see that on the Schmoedown itself. You did not see that. You were not told, oh, you need to go look at the Twitter feeds. Here, you're having to go to the, like, JCast. JCast is actually an incredible show. I actually have enjoyed what he does over there. But it's not family friendly. So you're sending a family friendly audience to a channel that's not family friendly. So the Schmoedown's in a weird situation. That's why, like Galaxy Geeks, you're not going to hear us cuss. We try to be as clean as possible because we want to make sure that it's family friendly. If someone from the Schmoedown comes over to our channel, we want to make sure it's clean for them because, you know, everybody, sometimes it is nice to be family friendly. But I think I'm afraid if, and the after shows are great. I'm not saying the after shows are a bad thing. I just wish there was a way Christian could work directly with us so that we can kind of be his. I mean, we're kind of doing that with his press conference, and which is going to be so much fun. I cannot wait if he lets us be on it. But that's where I think the issues run. I think there needs to be a direct. Christian needs to be able to say, hey, can you do this with your show? We're doing this kind of match. We want to do some press for it. We're not telling you what to do, but we want to kind of do these story points within it. Can you do that? And we will push your show for this match. And we will publicize, like really push your show because you did this, this, and this. And that kind of gives and the after show can say yes or no. They don't have to, but then that kind of controls more of storylines that Christian can kind of have its hands on. Christian needs control.
Yeah, I get that. Um,
Oh yeah, go ahead and pull up Ryan's. Yeah. Um. Yeah,
no,
this is
I
something.
don't think they are giving spoilers. I think look, I think everyone kind of thinks that it will be. Sorry, I just want to read it. Yes, but Harper's playing gold leader. There's still Nikki to get through. So are they foreshadowing or giving spoilers before a match happens?
I don't
Um,
think in us
yeah.
working with Gold Leader in the past, and we're planning on getting him on for the championship reaction between him and, or not champion, but him and Nikki's match. We're planning on getting him on for the reaction. He's not spoiled anything. He's not told us anything. He's kept that quiet, and JCast is the same way. They're really hoping for that match to happen, so that's why they're supporting it. But Ryan's right. It could end up being feeling like spoilers for some people, like, oh, they're pushing this already, but that match doesn't even happen. He's still got to play Demi. It's
And I get that feeling. I've had the same feeling with some after shows, and sometimes I've been right, sometimes I've been wrong. So I kind of understand where that sentiment comes from. But look, I kind of feel like you have so many players in so many divisions, kind of letting the players create their own storylines can sometimes be helpful.
sorta, but you also got to remember Christian is like 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 steps ahead of even the competitors on what he wants the storyline to go. If you had these after shows and you had Mike going on after shows before the corruption split, corruption wouldn't have been as surprising. Corruption, the whole corruption thing was a great storyline that did bleed kind of into other shows. That's why I went to the Schmoedown, was because Mike was getting upset with the DC movie news team, and that was really cool. That was a cool storyline bleed into, but Christian was controlling it. There was a control there. There's no control here. I mean, when you talk to they're not going to spoil what the matches are, but they're not told what kind of storyline's going on, because there really isn't a storyline. They're just playing. So
yeah,
I think next season's going to be different. I think after shows need to be prepared, because I think Christian's not going to have the after shows work the same way, because he can't let them ruin storylines.
Yeah, that's fair. And I get that. And I think we'll have to be respectful of that too. I just want to say, leave my precious deception alone. It needs to be a team next year.
We'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to say the least.
I still need to go back and listen to the promo of that Deception versus Jacoby Bancroft and Nick Harley match, because I think, but I'm not sure. I think Colin said that it's Deception's last run, and I seriously hope it isn't.
I don't know.
I need to go back and listen to that.
I don't see a team left except for Shazam after the season.
Lightning Time?
I don't see Lightning Time. Maybe King Arthur, but I don't see Lightning Time. I think the usual suspects done after the season. I think you're going to have a new faction or something pop in.
Yeah, but I think you could still have Lightning Time be a team.
Nah, I think they split them up. I have a feeling you're not going to see the same teams in general. I think there's going to be such a huge difference there. I see Lightning Time done. I see Deceptions done. I see Corruption done. I think the only ones left Shazam.
The problem with that is that you then have the same problem that WWE has, where they just break up teams, and then you have no teams, and you got to build up the teams division again, and then you have one team at the top, and then no no one that you can see in the horizon that can beat them. If you
It,
have some teams carry on to the next year, let's say I don't know a King Arthur or something, you then have at least people that have that chemistry already built up.
Brian, I think you're going to come after me. um,
I'll
I'm
come
not
after
wanting
you
them
for
to.
deception, and he'll come after you with for corruption.
I'm really making enemies today, but that's just kind of how it's feeling right now. I think Christian's about to have a clean sweep. I think this is going to be a reboot.
Yeah, he's kind of insinuated as such. So yeah, I can see that.
And I'm
What do you
not.
think of this though?
Yeah, I could see Adam Witt having his own team, splitting up the dungeon so there's 5 and 5. I mean,
The
I don't
lovable
know.
losers.
I mean, that's why I think the press conference that he's going to have with the Schmoedown and everything else, where he's going to have the after shows asking questions, is going to be needed because you need that like excitement. You need a reboot. You need something huge where everyone's jaw is dropped, where everyone's excited. And I think that's what's going to
Hmm.
happen this next year. If it's not, then
I
Schmoedown's going to hurt.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Thomas though here. I
Yeah.
wouldn't like it if teams, especially when they've played very well, split up after just one season. And I fully agree with that. I
Oh yeah.
don't think you can have people just break up
Well,
willy nilly, and that's something that Bibiani has said for a long time is that he wants to. This is the whole reason he's excited for next year is because he doesn't want to see teams broken up in the draft again. He wants
well,
to see teams carry on and keep going.
maybe I don't know. The reason why I just bring it up is due to the fact of I think they just really need a good reboot. I think that if Christian wants, I think it needs to be almost like the one season 1 through 8 is your build up, but your season
Mm,
9 is new. Everything is new. We are rebuilding after this point. Season 7 and 8, they were what they were due to COVID. Season 9
yeah,
starts the Schmoedown over again, where it's going to be big, massive, story driven, everything that everyone loved the Schmoedown for before the COVID will be back
yeah,
for a very strong.
yeah. I agree with this as well. There's been a few challenges here and there which have been, and especially talking of teams, you do need that consistency. And I think yes, in terms of making a shake-up, if you break up the factions, awesome. But you break up the teams, you're basically killing a whole division and then building it all the way back up again. I mean, imagine if you said we're getting rid of all the Star Wars competitors and only bringing in new ones.
Well, but look at
Imagine
it this way.
what
Look
sort
at
of backlash
corruption.
there would be.
But look at the corruption storyline. Corruption got rid of all
Yeah,
the teams and started over. And it worked.
I
It
get,
was new, it was exciting, and that brought in a lot of fans. I mean,
but at the
I
same
see.
time, you already had like you had two strong, you had a few strong teams stay in there that had started from the begin, from they had spoken to one another and started there.
But think of it this way. I mean, and I have actually really liked Danger Zone. I think they're a great team. But think of a team like Ben Bateman and Paige Fabretti. That would be
Mm,
a very cool, exciting team. It's not a super team. It's just an exciting team. I don't know what it would look like, but
mm,
that would be exciting. It's new. It's different. It's not just two good players. It's one player who's really analytic and the other one who's going to be in your face. And so
yeah,
having teams like that pop in where it's not just about knowledge, it's gameplay. We didn't watch the action guys because they were the most best players. We watched them because they brought a show. There is not a show team right now.
fair enough. I still think you need to have that balance, but yeah, just want to point this out. Deceptions record according to, but I wanted to go by this Ryan's second question here, and I'll point out Leo's answer to the first one. Do you think they've had a good season this season?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I mean, but it all goes down to Collins. Collins has just had a bad season.
Fair. But he could have a bounce back next season. So please don't break up my deception.
I just have a feel. I don't know. I mean, you never know.
Yeah, I agree with Thomas here. You had kind of 3 seasons of build up to that.
Yeah,
I think
but you
you
also
need to build up. You need to build up to the destruction of the teams.
I guess
For me,
for
that
me
would
the
feel
reason
like if you got rid of all the singles players and said, "Oh, we're getting rid of everyone except Dan Murrell," and you're like, "Okay, so then who's going to face him?"
well, I guess the reason why I look at this differently is the past 2 seasons has been it's been interesting, and it would be interesting to start having because there's not. I mean, there's really not many teams at all where you have a rookie and a senior player. You kind of have those divided right now. You had like the Finstock Exchange; most of their rookies played with rookies. Most of the
Yeah.
veterans played with veterans. You don't have a mixture, and so I I kind of think because of COVID, because of the faction system, everything else, and where the Schmoedown is today, I think the build-up's enough. I think enough people would be excited for a whole new, fresh look, because then you've got to get your fans back. The Schmoedown,
Yeah.
if you look at the views of Schmoedown, the views are not great right now, and I think people want to come back to it. Like there was once I posted or shared something about our show, how we talked about Schmoedown, and someone subscribed because they were excited about the Schmoedown. And so I think there is a drive for the Schmoedown, but we've got to start fresh.
Yeah, that's fair. What about this, Janine and Paige? Sassy team.
That would be a sassy team. I don't know. I don't know if that would work or not. I think it would be. Janine and Paige, I think, have a lot of similarities in gameplay and how they are personality wise, and I think. And here's the thing too: Janine needs some limelight, some light on her because she's been in the dark because of her matches and everything else. Janine needs that. You want to go ahead and start talking about the predictions for this week?
We have one more match to talk about.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk about it.
Barbarian versus Poloyama. This was kind of a little bit of an upset as well. Barbarian won this match. Everyone that I saw was predicting Oyama to win. I think you also predicted Oyama to win.
Yes.
And he just had a bad round 2, and he spun monster movies, and it just went really badly. And then the round 3, he missed his 5, and we now have Barbarian going against the Kid. Thoughts on that, on this match?
This was an incredible match. I think Paul. I mean, monster movies that was rough. That was a rough round for him. I don't know many that would enjoy getting monster movies because most of those movies are so old, and it also is such a broad category. So you really don't want to get monster movies for any competitor. I don't know many other than maybe Viviani that would want to get that category. I did want to bring this. Well. Oh yeah, Adam Collins would love that category as well. I did want to bring this up, and this bothered me. This really bothered me a bit. Was the fact that in this match, they didn't address the Chandra situation. I mean, they asked them and they skirted around the question, and there was no closure to what's going on there.
I was going to ask you about that as well.
I mean that's bad. I don't know what they're doing. That was a perfect point to kind of give us something, because this was Schwag's last match. I don't know when you would bring up the Chandru situation any other time. I don't know what's going on there. And people keep saying, "Oh, Mike versus Parker at Spectacular." It's like, yeah, but this Chandru thing is weird. I don't. Yeah, go ahead and pull up Leo's comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that they were
they
dodging it. They needed to address it this match, because there's not a good moment before Spectacular to bring this up, to set up the match even. We've got a month.
Yeah.
We've got tournaments coming up. We've got all this stuff, and there's not been how many weeks ago was that match where they mentioned it?
Sorry, it was 2 weeks ago.
Was it 2? I thought it was like 3.
3 weeks ago, yeah. 3 weeks ago, sorry, yeah.
And in the Schmoedown, 3 weeks is a long time.
It is, and I think they could have addressed it, and probably should have. Yeah, look, I think people don't really know what's going on themselves. I think they wanted to gauge the fans and see if the fans would accept it. And maybe
they reacted bad.
Backlash. Yeah, it wasn't great. Even from what I've seen, I haven't looked much on the Facebook group because I've been busy, but from what I've seen, not a lot of people were happy about it.
No.
And it looked like a lot of go away heat to me. But yeah, I just want to have your, let's just see, that would be interesting.
You don't want to see
Paul
that.
And yeah.
You don't want to see that. I don't think anyone wants to see Chandru in teams.
I mean, he could. We don't know, but he could do pretty well.
I don't know. Not at Spectacular. Not at Spectacular. That's not a match you want to see at Spectacular. But I don't know. I wish they'd addressed it. They just didn't talk about it. They just kind of left it up in the air. And now that Swag season is done, there's not another point where you can get this storyline in. Also, you've got this situation with Roka. Roka's situation. We don't know what's going on there. So you've got 2 dangling storylines. They're just hanging there that we don't have any closure on.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, maybe we'll get some more answers later on as the season progresses, because they only have like a month left. So maybe we'll get some answers.
Maybe. I hope so. I hope that we start getting more. I think that's just was my problem with this past week was we should have got something, because the Oyama match was the last time we saw the Swag. That was the last time we were going to see anything, and we didn't get any conversation, any closure, anything else. And now wherever I guess they have to pick this up at Spectacular. But I don't know of many people who want to see anything. I don't know. I don't know if you want to see anything like this for Spectacular or not.
I don't know. Well, I mean, we'll have to wait and see, I think. And as people have been saying, trust the process. I did want to see more answers, and I was hoping for more answers, but I kind of, in a way, liked how they kind of played it off. It was kind of funny in a way. But yeah, there was one other thing that I wanted to bring up, which was the challenge, where the right answer for one of the questions was Hank Azaria, and Ellis had said Hank Azaria when he first mentioned the options, and when he read it to Barbarian, he read it as Hank Azaria. What did you think of the challenge there?
I think it was a good challenge. I get it. I actually went back and re-listened because I couldn't really tell. I think the only thing I honestly it's a weird challenge because it was multiple choice. If you kind of had an idea what it was once you heard that name, even if he was struggling with it, you're gonna probably pick that one if you had an idea. But he really didn't have an idea for this question. It was a smart challenge on Winston's part, but in the long run, I think it was kind of weird.
Hail Mary almost.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was weird.
That's just one thing that I wanted to get your opinion on. I personally think it was worth it. I
Yeah.
just wanted to. I sort of wondered if he had, because he still had the free repeat of the options. If he had said, "Please repeat the options," would we have gotten away with not seeing the challenge?
I don't know. It was. I think the whole situation was weird in general. I think you'll notice Mark normally is very more lenient than other people on the desk. I think if someone else was on the desk, I think they would have pushed back a little bit more. But Mark normally doesn't push back as much.
Yeah, which I kind of like about him. But yeah, he's a bit more fair in my opinion. I know some people have harsh opinions against him and that, but I kind of like him. But
Um,
as they've said, Taylor Robinson is not 2-0 managing Barbarian.
yeah, I screwed up here. I forgot that Bibiani didn't manage this match, so now I got to go back and figure out who my manager of the week is going to be. Ooh. Ooh, I gotta go back and re-decide that. It might be the
You
same,
mean
but I don't know
Gucci?
yet. Yeah, I was
You
gonna
mean
go with
Gucci?
Gucci for manager of the week, but I don't know if I'm still gonna do that yet or not.
I mean, he did lead King Arthur to victory, so you could say that.
Yeah, but you also had the fact that um, with Demi winning this past week, Sam lost one. Maybe Coy. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and talk to Eli.
I
I'm
would be
not
happy with
100%.
Koi.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I really enjoy Koi, and I want to give it to Koi, but at the same time, I kind of need to be honest and have to work with the
Yeah,
system with Eli.
I know. I know. uh, but yes, let's move on to the promo of the week, and then we'll move on to your favorite, the prediction time. Uh, Promo of the week for me, it started out with the Star Wars match, and it basically ended with the Star Wars match because that felt like a Star Wars movie trailer for me. I was like, yes. And then seeing Demi dressed as Ahsoka Katana, that was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
The history between Alex and Demi playing, the music, everything was just perfect.
Yeah, I
You
I
have a
agree with
different
you.
pick, or
I agree with you. I think it. I think they have so much fun with Star Wars matches and promos. I just love their promos when it comes to the Star Wars match.
they are fantastic. I love them. I just want, yes, Thomas, do it,
Just
do
cause.
it,
Just
do
I'll
it.
talk to Eli. I'll talk to him once I get off the phone here. Let's go ahead and move on to
Yeah,
predictions. I don't have
yeah.
as much time as last week.
Prediction time. Okay, let's see. Janine versus Mike Kalinowski. I have Janine. I think everyone but Matt has Janine. Do you want to say who you think will win?
Yeah, I'm thinking Mike.
Okay.
I think Mike is having a year. I think this is his year finally. There's Shug.
Yay, Shug. Love you, man.
We already gave your new show or your new channel a shout out, Shug. So once again, everyone, please go subscribe to Shug Knight's new channel. It looks incredible, and that's not just because I'm biased on how it looks, but he's gonna do awesome with everything he does, and it's so worth watching. So please go subscribe to this channel. But the reason why I go
Yeah.
with Mike is just Mike's just been playing a different kind of game this year. He's awesome. So So let's
Fair
go on
enough.
and move on to the next.
Hello. Yep. Okay, so let's move on. Danger Zone versus Press Room. This one's going to be difficult for me, but I think I'm going with what everyone else is going with and going Danger Zone. Though I think Press Room could, if Perry has confidence and gets a good spin, she could do well. Yeah. Thoughts?
uh, I don't know. This one's hard. I think I've got to go with Danger Zone. I mean, Danger Zone is a great team. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Danger Zone. I'm gonna keep it safe.
So that brings a question. If Danger Zone wins, do you think they can face King Arthur? Or do you think King Arthur has them?
Ugh. I don't know. King Arthur scares me.
Yep.
King Arthur is one of the best new teams that we've seen, and
Yeah.
I've not seen many faults for Griffey Newman's. Or Arthur Newman or whichever Newman that we're talking about.
Sorry, just want hey Matt, how's it going? Matt is joining
Matt
us.
in?
Yeah, he's just loading up at the moment.
Awesome.
But yeah, so you got Danger Zone. So then, shall we move on to Nikki Dimmelant versus Gold Leader?
Yeah. Whew. I gotta go with. I'm going Gold Leader. I've been biased towards Gold Leader all year. I'm going Gold Leader.
Fair enough. I think everyone else in our group is going Gold Leader. I have to go with Gold Leader as well. And yeah, I got to go there. I took my shot with Janine, going with my heart there, so I'll see. Just want to check something.
What's up, Matt?
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Matt.
I see you are on the predictions already.
Yeah, we'll go back and discuss your favorite match just now because I want to get your opinion on it.
Thank you very much.
Sure. Luke, if you need to go, you're welcome to go. And
I can pop off in about 5-10 minutes. I'm going to see the newest Halloween movie here in a little bit.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Also,
I can't wait to see your review on that.
Oh yeah, it'll be interesting to say the least.
You're saying also you?
Also, let me. I can go ahead and before I need to pop off in a bit, I can go ahead and just plug what we're doing. This week we're going to see the Into the Schmoedown Galaxy tomorrow. If you want to join, we're still going back and forth on if we're doing 5:30 or 6 o'clock. I'm still deciding. I don't know which one's better for everyone. Everyone kind of is going back and forth on it. Also, we have been growing so much. We are over 400 subscribers right now. We did a trailer reaction for Wheel of Time, and that has really popped off really well. I am going to be uploading today a reaction to season 4, episode 1 of Young Justice. It's our first series TV reaction. I've never done it before, so I don't know how it's going to go. So I'm really trying it out, and we're going to try and do more reactions in the future. But other than that, we should have some more trailer reactions this week. If y'all want to pop on and watch any of them and like them, and that's been our bread and butter recently.
That sounds good.
I just want to say, as I'm here now, in the name of everyone in the Euroschmoe who couldn't be here for a couple of weeks now, thank you, Luke, so much. You are our honorary Euroschmoe here. I would say you actually helped us so much. And for everyone watching, this is why this Schmoedown reactors community is so awesome and wholesome. Like, I think that I was never a part of the community as much invested in everyone else as they are in their own channel. So thank you, Luke, for really helping us get going while we
Hey,
were really busy and some of us really sick. So thank you, thank you very much.
Hey, you're super welcome. I enjoy jumping on shows. I enjoy helping out. To me, this is what I see about the Schmoedown. The Schmoedown only works if everyone is working together and building it up. If
Yeah.
everyone's going after each other, if after show is trying to go against other after shows, the Schmoedown hurts in the long run. But if we're all working together, if we're all friends, I mean, look at Shug. Shug has introduced everyone, has really connected so many people, and has really reached out. And that's the same way I want to do. I want the Schmoedown to grow. And that only works if people are caring to each other, they build each other up, people are feel loved and cared for. If they don't, then the Schmoedown will not last. And that's what everyone wants. They want a Schmoedown that's worth watching, that people are going to enjoy, that brings a great quality of product, but also you feel good watching it because you see friends, you see people who enjoy each other. And that in the long run, that's what everyone wants to see. So if I can help with anything like that, I will spend time doing it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Like,
Well,
I was sick for a couple of weeks and you really helped us. So thank you very much.
welcome. Well, in saying that, guys, I gotta pop off.
Cool. Have a happy Halloween and enjoy the movie.
Thank
Yeah.
y'all.
Good night.
Good night. Bye, y'all.
So Matt,
Hi everyone, it's me, Matt. I'm back in 1 and 12 of the show. Sorry, I had a really busy schedule today. Sorry to pop off like this. I wasn't in a couple of shows now because I was sick with one specific virus that is torturing everyone in the whole world. So I am healthy now. So I want to just say to everyone, thank you. Thank you for keeping up with us. Thank you for being patient with us. And especially thank you for Ben, who actually carried us uh, through all these hard times for our channel and our show. And thank you for everyone who actually stick with us. And I'm really happy that you are still here with us in despite of what is happening to us. So thank you to everyone. I saw that you already did Nikki Gold Leader, and I didn't hear what you said, what everyone else said about it. But I am going Gold Leader. I'm going Gold
everyone
Leader.
else is as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty much. I thought you were going to go with Mike, so I said you're going with Mike, but I just wanted to get your confirmation.
You are wrong here. I think Janine is going to get her first revenge on Mike. Because if anyone is interested, I just think Mike is reasonably so more focused on IG, because I really think that for the player of the year right now, if you ask me, it's Mike, Kid, or Bibiani, or Thomas Harper. I think that Marisol is probably a lock for the singles player of the year, but I think that Deception didn't do that great in teams division this season. So I think that it's more up to how Griffin Humes, Bibbs, Mike, and the kid does, because don't forget Mike did win the number one contender in teams against Danger Zone, and he's undefeated in IG. So I think Janine is more focused on singles than Mike is. I think Mike
Yeah.
will be more focused on. Uh, I think Mike will be more focused in IG right now, and that's actually reasonable. If I'm Mike, I'm
Yeah.
doing that as well. So I'm going with Janine.
Okay. And then Danger Zone versus Presser. I assume you're going Danger Zone.
Yeah, I think we will see King Arthur versus Danger Zone. Yeah, final. Again, we will see Dungeon versus, I think, Dungeon versus Finstock Exchange
Finstock.
is the one that we are going to see again
Yeah.
in the finals of the teams tournament.
Yeah. Ryan thinks Griffey Nooms or Arthur Nooms or whatever name
Yeah,
he goes
I
by.
also think he's can be the player of the year, because I do think he could he could get to the finals. And I think if you get to the finals of the two ultimate Schmoedowns, even if you are not in the championship things, I think that even if you are in the finals of the teams and the singles, you are still can be actually player of the year. I still stand behind what I said, that I think Bibbs and the kid will be in the finals. But if Griffin Humes does it, two finals in 1 year, I think he has a big chance of being the player of the year, as
Yeah.
Ryan said.
Yeah. I fully agree. Liam will be here
Hi,
next week, hopefully.
yeah. Thanks, Liam.
Yeah. So just wanted to get your take on, because I know that you were very excited to talk about this match in the week, but do you want to talk about this match quickly and then we'll end the show?
Oh yes, I'm so happy for this match. Uh, as you all know, before I got sick, I said to everyone that King Arthur is the dark horse of the tournament. I said that they could win the whole thing, and after I saw who they beat, to me, if they actually win this tournament and can and manage to beat Shazam, they are the team of the year. Like they
Mm,
beat Final Exam, that was multiple times in the number one contender and in the championship match. They beat Deception, uh, and Deception has single champion of the world right now with Adam Collins. Like as I said, when we saw their like King's Arthur first match, they were contending on being the highest scoring. Both teams were contending to be highest scoring team ever. Like you can see, uh, like the King and the Griffin Humes are really complementary to each other. Griffin Humes is very perfect in a couple of his matches right now. And if I'm Marisol and Paige and Bibbs, anyone in this side who can actually play Griffey, I'm very scared. Like,
mm,
I think that if we look at the only second part of the season, Griffin Humes is the player of the year. If we look only in the second part of the season, what he does is phenomenal in both divisions. Uh, I do think right now, as I said, Paige is my favorite female competitor, but I think that he will be in the semifinals with Bibbs.
yeah.
I think Bibbs will be in the semifinals as well. So I just think this match was excellent. It was the only difference was those 2 points in round number one.
Yeah.
In other words, the only difference was that perfect round from Griffiniums. And nothing against King. Yeah, Shug, hi. I'm finally healthy. Uh, Happy to see that you have your own channel. I'm not very happy that you will have to step back from the spin from the reel in sometimes, but yeah, happy to see that you did your own thing. You deserve it. You're one of the wholesomest people in the whole community. Uh, and anything you need, I think that I can speak from anyone from the Euroschmo. We are here to help you. Uh,
Yes.
thank you, Shug. And as I to come back to the match, that match was phenomenal. One of my favorites, trivia wise. I think that uh, this. Okay, I will say this. I really think now King Arthur can win it all because not just Griffey. If I'm looking at King Khan, he's averaging 15 points in every round. That's only one miss. And with that performance, I think they can beat Danger Zone if the questions go their way. I think it's a 50-50 match, to be fair. But I really think that King Arthur, depending on how they do in the speed round, is actually a team who can compete with Shazam. I'm not saying Shazam will lose. I just think it will be competitive because, unfortunately, and I wasn't here when we were talking about Lightning Time and Shazam match, but they knocked out, they KO'd them, right? And
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
wasn't even close, unfortunately. I'm sad for Liz and Ethan. I didn't
I
expect
will
that to be.
say I will say it was close up until the betting round.
Yeah, I think it was the Ethan is unluckiest person in the betting round this season by
Yeah.
far. It was the same thing that happened to him with the Marisol. Uh, and yeah, betting round is not Ethan's round this season, apparently. That's sad, but it is what it is. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, just to speak about every other match that I didn't was, it was, to be fair, Finstock Exchange Week. I think Griffiniums and King Khan, as I said, were phenomenal. And Barbarian beat one of the best singles players in the league, I
Mhm.
think. And I think that Barbarian finally showed what is he capable of. Because after I saw this, I can say that it is possible that Barbarian is coming out on top in the quadrant of that, as we call it. Uh,
Mm.
in the singles tournament, and that's even if he doesn't win, if he beats the kid and he comes out on top in that quadrant, I think that that's the big success on its
Mm.
own for him. I'm not saying that he would be satisfied. I'm just saying for me that would be a big success as well.
Yeah.
So I'm very looking forward to the next matches, and I predicted now I think two matches. I predicted that I'm picking Gold Leader, and I predicted I'm picking Janine. I don't know if you have a third match to predict or not.
It is the Danger Zone versus Press Room, but I think you went Danger Zone there.
Yeah, I'm in danger zone there. So I'm sorry, everyone, that I hopped on so late, and I'm
So
making the show longer now.
now I
Uh,
just wanted to ask you one question because you weren't on here last week when Amaru played. Do you think this is Sam's last season?
what can you tell? Say this again.
So when Amaru played Mike, right?
Yeah,
Sam sort of implied that he won't be here next season. That this could be his last season.
yes,
Uh, your thoughts on that? You think?
yeah. I think he's out next season. I think we will see some new managers, but as he said, I think this is getting too time consuming for him. I really think that if he has one big movie he needs to tape, he can't be in the Schmoedown because, as everyone is saying, Schmoedown takes a lot of time to tape.
Yeah.
And if you have one big project, we saw that this season with Roxy, with the Winston for a couple of weeks, and if you have a big project to do, it's hard for you to do the big project and the Schmoedown. So
Yeah.
I don't know what is happening with the Sam personally, but I think that if he is saying that it could be his last year, or that at least that he's taking a break, that it's probably there is other stuff we don't know about why he
Mm.
doesn't want to participate. I think he loves Schmoedown, and he will love Schmoedown. Uh, how to say it? He will love Schmoedown if he's involved in it personally or not. But I think
Yeah.
if he has other things to do, for example, like his fiance Rachel, who said that she is very busy, and
Mm.
he's probably having wedding to organize and stuff like that. I do understand why he could possibly be uh, too busy to do the Schmoedown.
Yeah. Okay. Just wanted your take on that because I know he's your favorite competitor and manager. But yeah. Uh, shall we call it an end, or is there anything you wanted to add? Or
Yeah, I think this is fine. Sorry to get in so late.
no?
You can find me at Schmoe Please follow Euroschmo. And again, thank you for the guys from the Galaxy League Geeks, especially Luke, for keeping and helping Euroschmo go forward. We were actually getting through some hard personal stuff, most of us, and unfortunately, we couldn't be on the show. I am telling you and promising you now that in the future, now that I'm healthy, I will be on the show on time and everything. And thank you, Ben, as well, uh, for keeping our boat uh, running. And thank you, everyone who is watching us. I did saw that we have more subscribers, more followers. Thank you for everyone who is watching. We are really trying. I know that it doesn't seem that way in last couple of weeks, but we are really trying, and not just for us, but for the Schmoedown as well. And we love this, and thank you for the support.
Yeah, I fully agree. Thank you very much. Please subscribe, give us comments, leave a like, please, and follow us at Yershmo. Follow me at the King Ben. Um, all our other Twitter handles and stuff are at the bottom. Please follow Luke and the Galaxy Geeks as well. Their information's also at the bottom. Please subscribe to their channel. Subscribe to Shug. I think it's at Shugnut331 or something like that. Sorry, don't have the full title of his channel on my show, but please watch his show, subscribe to him. He's been a big support to everyone, as I've said, to Schmoe, to Galaxy Geeks. He's helped us grow and helped everyone grow. Yeah, I just wanted to, like Ryan says, thank you so much, Ryan and Thomas, and every one of our watchers. We love having you all as a part of not just the Schmoedown community, but especially our Euroschmo community, and having the engagement with you guys has been fantastic. So thank you, everyone. It's awesome to see the channel grow and to have 49 subscribers. I didn't think we'd be at this point by this time of year, but it's been fantastic. Thank you to everyone. Is there anything else you want to add, mate?
No, you said everything. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, we'll see you next week, hopefully, and Lord willing, things won't go wrong, and I'll have internet, I'll have power. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Yeah, goodbye.